Okay, I think I'm ready, ladies and gentlemen. So this is the current state of affairs. You can walk into a Mercedes-Benz dealership, drop all the money on the table, tell them you want a GLS right now and you want to close the deal, and they're going to say no. They will not accept cash. They'll reluctantly finance you or lease you if they have no idea who you are. Why is this the case? Well, you can thank China.
China.
Unfortunately, in China, the price of these is crazy. Exporters are jumping all over it. Manufacturers aren't happy. There's a big tug of war, big penalties, even bigger payoffs. Hence why you can be a shill buyer for one of these and make some big money. So let me tell you my almost shill buying experience, because I think it's pretty interesting. I was surprised, and you might be as well. So I was contacted by an exporter via Auto Trader. I'm selling a 2010 S-Class. The 2010 S-Class, for those of you who know. And for those of you who know even further, it's on the road and it's working. Kind of, for the most part. It's weird. But anyway, he offers me a hell of a deal. The pitch is this. Look, we'll give you 20 grand and we'll give you full asking price for your car. Just go to a dealership, trade it in for a brand new GLS. We'll give you the specs, we'll give you the details. On the day that you get the car, you hand it over to us, we'll hand you over a big fat check. I mean, that got my attention, wouldn't it get your attention? And disclaimer, yes, this is not a 2018 GLS, this is a 2015 GL350 Blue Tech, but you know what? For demonstration purposes, this is close enough. So I call up Daddy-O, because I'm sunk into the S-Class, but it's mostly Daddy-O's money. The car is in his name. He's intrigued, I guess, a little bit as well, so we meet up the exporter. And this is Canada, so where do you meet someone to do a sideways deal? Tim Hortons, of course.
London police received a 911 call in relation to a male who had possibly been shot.
And it's fitting because the exporter himself is from
China. You know, China.
And he gives a good pitch, a compelling one. It's simple. This thing is so hot right now. In Canada, properly loaded, you're looking at $100,000 and change. In China, you're looking at $300,000. I mean, that's a big, big margin for these exporters. Hence why they have no problem shelling out 20 G's. Hence why they have no problem shelling out 20 G's or more for anyone who can get their hands on one. Shill buyers. They need them, because after a while, your circle of people, you run out. You can only do this once, because remember, you get blacklisted. And he says for China, they want specific specs.
I've been saying China. China?
They want the GLS to be the 450 model. They want it in black. They want the sports package on it. And they want any sort of brown interior combination with the Premium 1 package. So the basic, there's a Premium 2, forget about that. And the tech package, they don't care about that either. You go in, they say, look, you're not going to be able to get away with paying for it in cash. They'll finance you probably, maybe force you to lease if they don't want to finance. Because listen, the dealers are skeptical here. They know that this is a high risk. If they don't know you, they're really not going to want to give you the car, but they'll lease it to you reluctantly. They said come back with like that bill of sale. They'll give you the down payment money. You sign a whole bunch of paperwork. There was like a 7-page contract. Furthermore, since you're going to be trading in the vehicle, no way is the dealership going to give you anything close, especially a year from now when you pick this thing up. Mind you, it takes over a year to get one of these brand new. When you pick one of these up and you trade it in, you're not going to get anything close to whatever you wanted for your car that you were originally posting, right? They said they don't care. They'll take a hit on the difference. Another sweetener. I mean, geez, that means you get to drive around your vehicle that you were trying to sell for a year, depreciation free, maintenance or repair, it doesn't matter. It's a good deal. They give you the down payment, you sign the paperwork. On the day of delivery, they say, hey, look, you go in, you give them your old car, you pick up the new one, you take the ownership, you meet them at a specified gas station close to the dealership. They don't want you putting miles on the thing, where there's going to be a flatbed waiting and a bunch of guys with your check. It's probably going to be a bank draft, certified, whatever. This is the part where you might be thinking, oh, it's a little bit risky. What if that check is no good? You give them the ownership in the car and good luck getting anything back. It's very simple. They give you the check. It's just like what you do when you're selling a car. You say, hold on, guys. Assuming you're doing this deal during business hours, you make a phone call, you call the branch, you talk to the branch manager, and he's going to verify, hey, confirm whether this check is real. He says it's good, wonderful, you make the trade, everyone's happy. I'm talking quick because this camera battery might die. So, all right, quickly. We go to the dealership. We have a history there, so they know us. We have a little bit of credibility. And it's very funny because our sales rep is from China.
China!
We start talking about the car. We start speccing it out and everything. And once we mention all the specs, he gets immediately suspicious and tells us up front, like, guys, I gotta warn you, this is an export risk vehicle. You gotta sign a purchase agreement where the fine, if we catch you exporting it within the first year of ownership, is $30,000. But whatever. He talked about it. We joked about it. He said that someone was offering him 10 grand to get in on it. He said, of course, he wouldn't do it. He'd lose his job, blah, 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 this and that. It's a weird thing. Dealerships, I think anyway, they have an allowance that a certain amount of vehicles inventory will get exported. It's fine. After that, they might start getting some sort of penalties. I don't know how this works. It's a weird game. But anyway, he makes a bill for us. The sheet is done. He says, listen, come back, get a proof of financing, and we'll talk about down payment. And, next step is just to go back to the exporter and, sign everything. And hey, we're serious. Let's do this. Let's get down to business. We, of course, mentioned, hey, but what about the whole thing about signing a purchase agreement and, risk getting sued? That's a big deal. He said, look, nonsense. If such a thing happens, their lawyers step in, and the second they do, the court throws it out because realistically, legally, they can't do anything about it. And you read about this online. It seems to be the pattern. Unfortunately, it's not really enforceable, this purchase contract agreement. It's a gray area, I guess. I don't know.
China all the time.
But ultimately, and hence why I'm making this video, ultimately, Daddy-O decides to play it straight. He doesn't want to get blacklisted. This is the downside. As a Shill buyer, you get blacklisted from the brand. They will not sell you a new vehicle. I mean, export risk vehicle anyway. And he's optimistic about his future, so he didn't want to do it. He said he's going to be buying a new GLS one day. The S-Class deal could have turned out to be very lucrative. Now it's just back to playing it straight and losing money. But anyway, those are the details. It surprised me how much money there is in being a Shill, because before this experience, my only knowledge of it was reading about it online, how the Shill buyer is, offered like $500 to go pick up a Range Rover for somebody, an exporter, and I'm thinking that's hardly a deal. But this kind of money, ooh, it changes things. It's tempting, isn't it? Now, I'm not saying you should do it. In fact, I'm saying you shouldn't do it. I don't want to be promoting nefarious activities on YouTube. Does anyone care? Is this a big deal? I don't know. Would you do it? Do you think it's immoral or wrong? I mean, you're screwing over the dealership, I guess. Am I supposed to feel sympathy for the dealership? Anyway, hopefully this ends up being coherent. Have a nice day and play legit.
And by the way, I love China. I love China. China.